People of the internet, welcome to episode 2 of Not Another Football Podcast with Burnham and Butcher. Butcher, how are we doing, sir?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. It's good to be back. Let's talk some of that fantastic sport that some people overanalyze.
Coming from two people that are going to be talking about it for the next hour.
Gonna get some analysing.
Yeah. And this time around, what we're going to do this time, as we said on the end of episode 1, we're going to be trying to decipher the next month or so's movers and shakers in the transfer market in European football. So I think let's just get straight into it. Let's go with if there was going to be an elephant in the room when it comes to this summer transfer window, one, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, do you think will he go? And that I believe personally that if he does go, the only place he's going is Man U.
Yeah.
But to counteract my own question, will he go? Will he be prepared to go and work with Mourinho again?
You see, this is the thing. You know, as a lot of papers, newspapers, social media, journalists, sports journalists, they talk shit. But it's documented. Ronaldo's time with Mourinho at Real Madrid wasn't particularly great. You know, I believe both are very egomaniacs.
That's it. That's the problem.
One's a manager, the other one is a manager in the making.
We've spoken about before. He's a leader, isn't he, Ronaldo? He's an absolute leader.
You know, I don't believe anyone is bigger than Cristiano. I don't think he believes anyone's bigger than Cristiano Ronaldo. And I honestly believe that the only person Cristiano Ronaldo will ever respect as a manager will be Sir Alex Ferguson.
Well, look at him now. He still calls him boss. Like there was,
it
was that charity game. I think it was Carrick's testimonial. Was Ronaldo there in attendance or something? I don't think he played.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
yes, he was.
They were a backstage video and they saw him going, "Oh, boss," and then run over and give him a cuddle and that. But again though, Ferguson made Ronaldo's career.
Oh, of course he did.
Everybody linking him back with Man U. And like I said, I firmly believe if he does leave, the only place he will go will be Man U because he keeps coming out and saying he loves them. But is that because he has fond memories of Ferguson and not fond memories of the club?
I think Cristiano Ronaldo.
World now. Man United in 2017 is a complete different world to Man United.
I believe he looks at Manchester United. I believe he looks at Alex Ferguson first, and then he looks at Manchester United. Yeah. That's what I believe. I don't believe. I think. You know, this is tough because this comes from a guy that, like I said before in the first episode, I don't hate him. I don't hate Manchester United, and if I do see, it's one of them. I respect the shit out of him. Slightly jealous.
I think every club is.
But they're not the empire they once were.
Oh no, fucking far from it.
They're not the empire they once were. Do I think Cristiano Ronaldo would make a mistake rejoining Manchester United if it comes off? Yeah, because I don't think. I used to always say, right, a manager was just a person that sits on a bench. And you've got them 11 players that start your match with your lads that sit on the bench. Now, I even used to think a manager had that sort of, you know what I mean, power over how to get that extra 10% out of them, how to change a game tactically, and how to outwit an opposing manager. Alex Ferguson proved after he left that the majority of that came. The quality on the pitch was different when Ferguson was there, but it was coming to an end under Ferguson. You could see it slowly fading, but they still had grit and determination, which they don't have now.
Yeah, well, it's that extra 10%, isn't it? Ferguson had that. His man management skills were,
unbelievable.
Nobody comes close. But he had that mentality to be able to get inside your head and get that extra 10%. When it looked like when most managers, like Van Gaal, for example, we spoke about Van Gaal before. For me, I couldn't try and put myself in a player's position where we're 2-0 down at half time and Louis Van Gaal's got to give a rousing speech to get me riled up for that second half.
Boring.
Same as David Moyes. Do you know what I mean? Where Ferguson, you just, from all the stories you hear, and you see, even now, he's been retired from the game for a few years now, but he's still so passionate about it. And like when you hear him speak about Man United, he's so passionate about it. But we digressed away from Ronaldo. So, do you see, or could you see, Ronaldo at Chelsea?
Never.
No?
Never.
Okay. Would you see? Would you see Ronaldo staying in Spain? So
No.
so maybe Atletico or a Barcelona even being brave enough to come in for it.
No, I don't.
Now, do you see him going to Italy?
Possible.
Like, AC Milan's got all this money now.
Possible.
Because that's what it's one of them things with Ronaldo. What's he going to charge with his wages?
That's what I'm saying. You're talking
well good having the
you're
money
talking 450,000.
That's
450,000 a week to stay in Britain.
Yeah, it's all well and good having the money for his transfer fee. Majority of the Premier League clubs will have the money for his transfer fee. Mm-hmm. But it's like buying an expensive car and not being able to afford to insure it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But this is what I'm saying. I keep seeing it pop up. China. There is the money in China. There is money in China, but this new 100% tax rule has come into China. So if they buy Cristiano Ronaldo for 85 million and then they pay him 450 grand a week, they're not going to pay 85 million, are they? They're going to pay 170 million because they've got to pay double the fee. I don't agree with it, granted, because I think why should you pay 85 million for a player and then pay another 85 million to establish the youth of the country? I don't agree with that, you see, because to me, they should have had complete control over that football league and its money before it went into where it wanted to start creating.
Weird, though. It's like they weren't expecting Chinese clubs to react like they have. Like obviously in this in Europe, obviously when you had your Chelsea's that kind of kick-started this lavish multi-billion pound spending sprees that clubs go through. But now obviously they've brought in the financial fair play. So you can only spend what you earn. So it kind of gives everybody a bit more fair play. Unless you're Man City, where you'll just get sponsors giving you all this money, where sponsors is a family member of your owner, and it all gets a little bit confusing. You lend me this and I'll give it you back, sort of thing. It just makes it look like we've got loads of income. But
I just think he's going to command the fee.
That doesn't apply in China, but now they have put a restriction on. But I don't ever see a Chinese club dominating world football.
No. What sort of major tournament have they got?
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? That you've got like the Asian equivalent of Champions League and stuff like that, and fair enough. But you talk about top clubs in the world, and every club that comes into that conversation will come from Europe.
Yeah. It's a payday.
No, of course
to me, I've got no. I kind of lose respect for footballers when they go to that league, because I just think you've got to admire a footballer for ambition.
Yeah.
You've got to admire a footballer from ambition, and I wouldn't hold it against. Let's just talk.
Well, let's be fair. It's money,
Suarez.
right? Money
Suarez
talks,
leaving
right?
Liverpool,
money
going
talks,
to Barcelona,
and look at Carlos Tevez, right? Money talks.
Exactly. Well, he is. He's your typical greedy bastard. He is for me.
But I think anybody would be. I think. Do you know what I mean? When £500,000 a week starts getting flashed around, everybody's heads gets turned. I don't care.
Yeah, you could. I mean, the guy's coming to the end of his career. But my argument with Carlos Tevez has always been Boca Juniors, Corinthians, West Ham, yeah. Then he went to United,
and then Man City.
Left United and went to Man City.
Yeah, and then Juventus.
Man City. Talk about a guy that's got literally no regard. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
and no
respect
for who he plays for.
Oh, no.
And that's what I'm saying.
Because Tevez, you think like when Tevez came from Boca Juniors to West Ham, right? It was coming there. Do you know what I mean? It was starting to. People were picking their ears up. People were starting to. Who's this Carlos Tevez kid? Well, if you don't know of him, go and watch some of his stuff. Right?
Oh, he was wicked.
Do you know what I mean? It was like him and Mascherano. When they signed them to it, everyone's like, "What the fuck? These two are like
yeah,
the future."
West Ham.
Like the future. You've got Alan Pardew fucking stood there presenting these two new players, Argentinian folk internationals. And then Tevez starts playing, and he's fucking. he did. He single-handedly kept West Ham up that year.
And Mascherano didn't get in the team.
Yeah, well, but then Mascherano went away and went to Liverpool, and look at him. That managed to get him a job at Barcelona, where he's still fucking there now.
He's still there now. I just think this. I mean, it all ties into one thing. We're talking about a guy, Cristiano Ronaldo, who basically has the power to say and control his future.
Oh, of course.
He has that power to control his future.
To go, and, yeah.
You know, I don't agree with why he spat his dummy out because of taxes and stuff like that, because he doesn't want to abide by a country's ruling.
No, pay the fucking tax, man.
Because just pay the tax, man.
We've all got to do it.
You're a multi-millionaire. I don't honestly. I just look at him and I think he'll control where he goes, but I do just pay the money, because Real Madrid don't want to lose him, and we all know Spain is a very, 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 very political and diplomatic place where the government is crooked. The government, Real Madrid sold their training camp and everything many years ago to the Spanish government. Real Madrid play rent free on that great football ground, you know, because of the government. So if someone can make that tax go away,
oh yeah,
it's Real Madrid.
Oh, of course.
You know?
Same as Barcelona. Look at Barcelona though. Do you know what I mean? They're just the same. Like Barcelona's like aren't they owned by the state of Catalan or something like that?
Yeah.
And they're the same. Do you know what I mean? They're all crooks. They're
exactly.
All any club, and I've always said this, especially about Spain, any club where you don't have an owner, right? That everybody votes in a president, and then the president's like, well, bring me in. And is it Florent Perez, the owner that brought in Ronaldo? Yeah. It was like, bring me in, and I'll bring Kaká and Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean? You've got my vote. And he delivered.
I mean, I don't see him going anywhere. I see him staying. Yeah, I see him staying at Real Madrid.
Let's finish on Ronaldo. Do you see him? Yes or no? Do you see him moving?
No.
I'm on fence. I think he just spat his dummy out. And you know what the press are like? Look at Rooney when he spat his dummy out.
It either goes quiet or you see constant talk.
Yeah.
I do believe when you see talk too much, then it's bullshit. I do believe when you see it drop probably once or twice a week, there's something in it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything in it, to be honest. Yeah, I think Cristiano Ronaldo spat his dummy out. Journalists and social media has jumped on it and gone, "Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo's leaving Real Madrid."
Right. So
let's
move on then. One that's still to sign a new contract. His current deal expiring next summer, but he was seen in the unveiling of the new kit. Alexis Sanchez. Because he's obviously still not signed a new deal, expiring next summer. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of clubs that have been sniffing around. You know, I mean, everybody and their sons are being reported. PSG's, Chelsea, Bayern, Man City, Juventus. They're all coming out that they're keen on buying him. My issue with Sanchez, and it always has been, the bigger team he plays for, the less of an impact he has.
That's exactly what I say.
He's a big fish. He's a big fish in a small pond at Arsenal. And it is a small. If you go on like what the Arsenals of old compared to the Arsenal of now, this isn't Arsenal, right? They may play in red and white, right? The Arsene Wenger may be in charge, but this isn't the Arsenal, right? So he is a big fish, like Özil, same as Özil. Özil was a bit part player in that Madrid team because he got dwarfed by the Galacticos. Sanchez was the same at Barca. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, when Sanchez was playing at Barca, your Iniestas, your Xavis, your Messis, they were the ones they were talking about. They were never really talking about. But then when he was at Udinese, Sanchez was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So for me, if Sanchez was to go to a other club, I think PSG would probably be your best destination because PSG are still craving for a replacement for Zlatan. I know they've got Cavani, but Verratti's on about whether he's going to go or not. I think PSG would be a good destination for him. But do you think, yes or no, is Sanchez going to leave Arsenal or is he going to sign a new deal?
I think it all depends on Wenger. I think that's the yes, Wenger's signed a new deal. I don't think he's happy that Wenger's stayed. I'll be honest. I don't think half of that team is happy Wenger's stayed.
What about if he signs a superstar?
I could see him going to Bayern Munich and replacing Robin, if I'm honest.
That works.
I think that's where probably I see him going.
He'd flourish though in Germany because half the teams are shite. Do you know what I mean? Germany's turned into the new age Italian league, where you've got 3 or 4 teams that contest and everybody else just gets beat.
See Chelsea. I've heard Chelsea's name.
See, I
but you
could
see,
see
to
him
go
in
to Chelsea,
but
then Hazard's got to leave.
That's something you change your style of play. Then you can't play this fullback system. Where does Sanchez?
He's no Hazard.
Well, he's not a striker neither.
I think the Sanchez thing is a difficult one because the guy could go anywhere. It's got to be someone that plays with that sort of, like I said, Robin.
Yeah,
he can play that Robin role, but he's got to be prepared to run. I don't ever see Sanchez as a runner.
What about
he's a floater around that 18.
Liverpool?
Oh, he had his chance with us. I would take him. But to me, I think Mane's a far better player.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Sadio Mane.
Arsenal fans, the ground's shaking here. Mane better than Sanchez. Yeah, of course he is. Sanchez can't lace Mane's boots. I watch Mane, and I get excited.
Players, though.
I get excited. Mane's a finisher and he's a runner.
Mane is like a number 9.
You know what I mean? And that's
like a central striker. But Mane is starting to, that 34 million quid is starting to like a steal.
But I do agree with you. PSG could possibly, So, PSG's becoming a club now where players are asking questions of the owners. I'm probably 70% he'll go. I believe there's that 30% depending on what they've only got until January, remember?
Yeah.
Next year. Do you know what I mean? They've only got until January. If it's not sorted by January, he's gone. So to me, they've got a busy couple of months to kind of persuade him. No Champions League football. At the end of the day, he's got that power in his hands, Sanchez, isn't he? He's going to basically be saying, listen, you need to be bringing some world-class players here.
Arsene Wenger doesn't know how to spend money correctly, and I've always said that.
But this is the thing, though. Arsenal have always lived on. Arsenal, since they since it become the Emirates, they've had no debt. No debt, but they've always qualified for the Champions League. This is the first season, I think, is it since 17 years?
16, 17 years or something.
16, 17 years that they failed to qualify. Now, will that affect profit margin? Is it going to affect their spending? I mean, to me, they've hardly ever spent anything.
That's what I mean. The Premier League income, from just income alone, especially since BT have took over and all this more money in football, Premier League from finishing in the top 4 for the past however many years surely brings in quite a sustainable income out on itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind qualifying for the Champions League and all that money that qualifying for, because it's not just Champions League. Like, they qualified for 16 years consecutive for the knockout stage, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? So that must give you a good windfall. And then they've sold some fucking players. Do you know what I mean? Like, over years, especially when Man City took half of their squad over the past 5 years.
I think it remains to be seen. I would say watch until possibly the end of July. See
who they bring in. Well, there's possible. We might as well, as it's a good segue. Lacazette, 44 million was being touted about in the papers a couple of days ago, and now the owner of Lyon's come out and said, Atletico, obviously they've come in, but they've now got their transfer embargo.
Yeah.
But they've said that 1st of January, their offer still stands of, I believe it's like 63 million euros, so about 58 million quid. So they said Arsenal's got to if that's what you want, that's the price you're going to have to pay. Can you see Arsenal paying that sort of money for a player? Because I can't.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
really?
I can. But yeah, I can. Yeah, I really do. I do think. I don't think they've got a choice now.
Well, that is.
I don't think they've got a choice. They need a goal scorer. The gap is closing so much in terms of goal scorers. The Arsenal have just finished behind Spurs for the first time. You know what I mean?
But can you see anybody else coming in for Lacazette?
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 clubs in my head. I do think Liverpool is a possibility. I think Jurgen Klopp has got a list of players that he wants, and I don't think he's talking a lot about it. But I think Lacazette is on that list. I'm positive he's on it. It's a case of, there's a few bodies there that need shifting out.
Yeah, I think that's
Sturridge.
I think with all your main clubs though, like I was reading a couple of days ago, as one of the journalists for the Mirror, it was touting over potentially if Man U fail with a couple of their transfer targets for up front, they may turn to Lacazette. But I look at Lacazette and I think, well, they've got Rashford and Martial. They've got 2 of the same style of player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, you can't keep just stockpiling for the sake of it. Do you know, granted, Man U's got rid of Zlatan now, and they probably do need to. They do need a number 9 because Rooney don't cut it no more. And Martial, he's shit. He's shit a bus sometimes, Martial. And Rashford's not ready yet.
A lot of movement's going to depend on a few players. I think.
It's going to be a revolving door.
I still think Paris Saint-Germain could jump on him.
Right. So Marco Verratti, let's jump onto him. While it's the same sort of subject. Verratti's come out in the press and said, you need to start buying big name players or I'm basically going to go. So
yeah,
let's try and put two together here. So would PSG signing Lacazette make Verratti stay? I don't think so.
I think it'd take a hell of a lot more, to be honest with you. But see, it frustrates me because I don't see anything big about Paris Saint-Germain other than the fact that they're who their owners are. It's a shitty league.
I think that's
with absolutely no class.
They won the league when they first got into the money and Zlatan signed and they've got a decent squad. But look against you basically you've got Lyon, you've got Marseille, you've got Bordeaux and Monaco. Sorry, I forgot Monaco because obviously Monaco won it last year. But Monaco Monaco's youth system's fantastic. They've got
it's unreal, isn't it?
They've got another crop of youth.
I could go to Monaco. I could go to Monaco with $1 billion.
Yeah.
I really, honestly, do you know what I mean? You know, she's talking stupid there, but I could, it's $1 billion. Just say 500 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're looking at the main man. You're talking, if you looked at Monaco's side from 11 players, it wouldn't be hard for you to at least go, fucking, I'll take 6 of them, 7 of them.
Because they're all they're all under 20 as well.
And that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, look at Falcao. Falcao's gone back to Monaco and he's like he's
unreal.
Mold again.
He's unreal. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. It's a case of, I don't see, it's a difficult one because any player that, for me, I mean, Lacazette, to me, he's done his job in France. He scored a shit ton of goals. Well, he's not really going to do anything different by staying in France.
He's got a name now. That's what people use France as. Look at Benzema. Benzema spent like 2 or 3 years banging him in for fun for Lyon, and then Madrid come sniffing. That's it, you put yourself in the shop window in France. But once you've done it for 2 or 3 years, it gets a bit repetitive. So you need. I
think it's a process of elimination, isn't it? It's a process of elimination. He ain't going to Spain because he ain't going to Real Madrid and he ain't going to Barcelona. Right, unless someone like Benzema moves on, he ain't going. We'll eliminate Paris Saint-Germain and we'll eliminate Monaco.
I think it's Arsenal. He either goes to Arsenal in summer or Lacazette waits for January.
But he'll make himself look a bit silly, wouldn't he, by going to Arsenal? Because he made that comment. He came out himself and he said, "If I will be leaving Lyon, but the only club I will be playing for are a club that plays in the Champions League." You know, you make himself look a bit silly.
So yes or no, Lacazette, does he go?
Oh, he's going.
In the summer?
He's definitely going. Yeah, he's going. Yeah.
Okay, right. And Verratti, yes or no? Because he's linked with a big money move
I believe
to Barcelona.
Verratti will as well. I believe Verratti will as well.
Big money move to Barcelona, perhaps?
Oh, I hope Liverpool fucking sign him, if I'm honest, but that ain't happening.
Let's fly over to Germany. What about Dortmund striker, highly prolific, scored 31 league goals last season, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, or however the fuck you pronounce it. Boomerang. I think this is the year for him to go.
This lad, you know what? It's a weird one for me because I remember him. He came through AC Milan's youth.
He did, yes.
Gabonese player, and he just didn't cut it. You know, he got released by AC Milan, sent out on loan numerous amount of times, and then went to France. Who was it he played for in France? Was it Nantes?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And then he made a name for himself in France, and boom, out of nowhere he went to Dortmund, and he's just invented himself. He's just, he's reinvented himself. He's made himself a household name. The great Lewandowski spat his dummy out last week, didn't he? Exactly. Publicly criticised all his well, this week, beginning of this week it was, publicly criticised his own teammates and coaches and everything for giving him lack of support because he missed out on the Golden Boot by 1 goal to none other than Mr. Boomerang.
Yeah, they're not passing it. They're not passing
You
it
know?
up to me.
No, you know what I mean. It's just make yourself look silly.
It's
you know,
like,
you could
like,
if you'd have scored 2 extra goals in the season, which you would have had chances, you'd have won it.
Yeah. Well, it was like
make yourself sound silly.
It always reminds me of that comment. I remember reading it when I read that when it came out, and it just made instantly my brain think of players like Berbatov, who would score 30 goals a season as long as you pass ball to him. He'd never go and get it himself.
No. That's it.
You'll give it me. I ain't fucking going to get it, and that's Lewandowski all over.
You look at Aubameyang. I mean, and this is what I say. You got to spit your dummy out. Aubameyang finished the season, I think, for Dortmund with something like 14 assists.
Yeah,
14 assists. So he gave back just under half
of what they gave him.
Of what they gave him. So do you know what? Stop your whining, Lewandowski. You know what I mean? If you'd have run an extra 10 yards or 20 yards, you might have got that. You might have got that goal.
Yeah.
You know, don't moan about stuff like that. You know, bit of decency. Congratulations. You know. Do I think Aubameyang's going? I say yeah. It's. Do I think Liverpool fans are full of shit when they say, 63 million? Fuck off, 63 million. If Harry Kane's being quoted as 100 million, I would say the new defensive fee is 50 million for a defender.
Yeah.
You're talking 60 plus for a midfielder, decent midfielder. You're talking smashing 100 million for a striker that's going to give you 30 goals a season.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Well, 20 million buys you nobody. But so we reckon Boomerang's going. But
definitely.
Is he coming to England?
Yes.
Man U?
They need a striker. I haven't seen his name.
Could he be the man to replace Costa at Chelsea?
Possibly. I've heard his name linked with Liverpool numerous amount of times. Klopp could play a big part in it. Would I like him at Liverpool? Oh yes. Oh yes.
Right. So
do I think we break the bank for him? I think. Do you know what? I think it's in the pipeline that Liverpool are going to do something big. I just don't know who it's going to be. I do think there'll be something massive this season comes from Liverpool in terms of a signing. I don't know who it'll be though.
Moving on to the next one then. Could you see him this person at Liverpool? Never really lit up Barcelona the way that everybody hoped he would when he signed. Arda Turan.
He's had his time.
And I could see
he's a good player.
I could see Turan at Stoke.
I was going to say someone like probably a West Ham. A West Ham, a Newcastle. He ain't going to go to Liverpool, that's for sure, because of you've got Mane now. You've got Salah, Coutinho. But he was playing for a bloody good team in Spain in Atletico Madrid, and then obviously Barca signed him with a transfer embargo. Literally fucked his whole career up, to be honest with you.
He never needed to go. It was always when I saw Barca sign him, I didn't understand the logic behind it, because Barca, they've always been it for the past however many years. Unless it's come out of their own academy, they only invest time and patience into big money players.
Yeah. I think Turan will go. I mean, how old is he now? You're talking 29, aren't you? 30?
I'd say 30, yeah, easily.
See, China's a possibility for someone like Turan.
Yeah, I think China is the one, because, I don't know, a player that plays very similar to him, Lavezzi. They play very similar style of football. And Lavezzi's he's fitting quite well in China. I can just see Turan going over there and do it. Or you could see, because Turan's Turkish, isn't he?
Yeah.
So maybe a Besiktas or a Galatasaray?
Well, Besiktas have become the new spending force in Turkey, haven't they?
Because, I mean, he is getting
maybe it's time for him to go back home. I'd like to see him in Italy, if I'm honest.
Well, AC Milan.
I'd like to see him in Italy. Yeah. He's going to go.
I don't think he fits the Juventus type of style of play.
But I would like to see him in the Premier League. I would like to see. I would love to see him at Newcastle under Benitez.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle obviously need to rebuild themselves with a bit of class. It's a tough one. He's definitely leaving Barcelona, isn't he? He's got to. He can't.
He's not getting no game time. Now up next, a kid that I'm very fond of. I've got a lot. I think he's going to be a very bright prospect. Another one of Monaco's academy that I was speaking about earlier, Thomas Lemar.
Oh, what a player!
Thomas Lemar for me he's something else. But he's another one that I'm scared that he's going to go to a big club too soon, too young, and it's not going to work out. Stay at Monaco, kid. Stay there. You've just won the title. Stay there for another year. Same as Mbop. Stay there another year.
I mean, I know Liverpool were looking at him last season. I think it was last summer. His name was floating around. And I think Liverpool were quoted 30 plus million then. I do think he'd be one of them players that would suit Liverpool. And I believe working with Klopp would suit him.
I think that's the thing. A lot of these young players, for me, I don't think they look at that. Yeah, they go for the money and they go for playing for the club. Because, like, we spoke about earlier about Arsenal, they may struggle not having Champions League football to offer new players. But Man U didn't struggle to get new players in. But because that's Man United. But for me, do a lot of young players look at clubs where not about who the club is or how much they're getting paid, who the manager is, and what's the manager's success in the past with young players. Like, I wouldn't want to be a young player and go and play under Mourinho.
Oh, God, no. He doesn't believe in youth.
I wouldn't want to be a young player and go and play under Conte either at Chelsea.
No.
Because I honestly don't believe Conte's got any time for youth.
No, I don't.
Do you know what I mean?
He's an old school man. He's an old school footballer, isn't he?
But would you want to go and play under someone like Jurgen Klopp, who developed a very young Dortmund side into a very mature title-winning side and very nearly won Champions League winning side? Hell yeah!
Pochettino's another one.
Pochettino, fucking.
It's just whether Daniel Levy will take his. Thing
with Pochettino though is what I do like about Pochettino is he does like playing with youth, but he prefers them to be from this country. Yeah.
He loves British, doesn't he?
He loves British talent.
Yeah. Hell of a talented footballer. But I believe he'll stay at Monaco because Monaco don't need to sell. Monaco are a financially stable club.
Him and Mbappe together. Can you see either of? Well, there's 3 or 4, isn't it, in the Monaco's team? But can you see any of them? Because obviously they're getting touted about because you know what the press are like and you know what journalists are like. But can you realistically see any of them making some big money move to one of your major forces in Europe?
I've read so much. I've read so much this past 2 weeks on Bop, big time player Bop. Yeah. I've read so much. I've read 120, 130 million rejected. I've read Liverpool have made a second. I know that 100% Liverpool made that first bid and it was rejected. So there obviously is an interest from Liverpool, Yeah. And then I read the second bid was rejected this week. I don't know how true that was. Of 83 million. So, but I know that Liverpool are the only genuine side to have actually made a firm bid to take him. Real Madrid are being touted around as being big interested. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I believe if there's one club that's going to do it, I think it'll be Real Madrid. At the end of the day, he might not want to go to Real Madrid, but his agent will be telling him that Zinedine Zidane, he's French.
Oh, of course.
If Zizou wants you, you're going to play, It's a tough one, dude, because I honestly believe whoever signs him is going to have to smash the shit out of the world record fee.
Oh, yeah. Monaco.
And do I think he's worth it? No. Do I shite?
But that's
he scored a couple of goals.
Monaco don't need to sell. Monaco have got money.
Exactly. They don't need to sell him. They could just reject.
They've just won the title for the first time in however many years, dethroning the powerhouse that's been Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
They can afford to play hardball, can't they?
Well, it's not even playing hardball. Why don't you use them as your base and build around them and get yourselves back into? Because I remember when Monaco were a dominant force in European football. Your
Thierry Henry's, your David Trezeguet's, crikey, what was his name? Ludovic Guili.
Oh yes, you went to go and play for Barca.
Yeah. Phenomenal team, man.
But now though they've got João Moutinho still, and I've rated him for years.
The keeper's fantastic.
Yeah, like I said,
You know,
they've got a base. They've got a very good base where I don't see the point because it's all that money though, isn't it? It's like you could have best player in the world, but if someone comes like,
I believe they could win the Champions League
I
next
do.
season.
Oh, I do. Well, look what they've for some
Like,
unbeknown reason, Falcao, fucking fucked Ramadal Falcao, who had 2 horrific years of his life in England, has gone back there, and he's never going to be the player he was before his first injury. Never going to be the player because that took his pace away from him, and that used to be Falcao, one of the strongest, fastest fuckers ever.
Yeah.
In his prime, but then that first injury
proved it at Porto, proved it at Madrid.
Yeah, well, at Porto he was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But that first injury did him in. But for some reason, something's working at Monaco, and he's back to, I wouldn't say he's best because he's never going to be back to his best, but he's fucking 1,000 times better than he were when he were at Man U and Chelsea.
Well, he's got the runners around him, hasn't he? He's got Mbop. You've got your Timmy on Bakayoko. You got your Lamar. He's got runners, so he can just sit there now as your traditional number 9.
Could you see Bakayoko going? Chelsea were reported.
He's going to Chelsea.
Chelsea have been reported with Bakayoko.
I think it'll be finalised by next Tuesday.
It's looking that way.
It's reported he's in there Monday, Tuesday for his medical.
So let's move on to the next one. We keep speaking about them because they've now got all this money and they've a forgotten force of world football. Carlos Bacca, AC Milan. Now there's a report came out in the press a couple of days ago and it was, I think, 2 or 3 papers picked up on it, of West Ham are backing for him. So obviously West Ham came in for him to begin with before he went to Milan. Well, I don't know. He's quick, skillful. He's a good striker, and he's probably everything that West Ham needs. Everything that West Ham need up front for West Ham to get back to that. They're never going to be back to the years of gone by of West Ham being one of the top dogs in English football, but the West Ham that they currently are the West Ham that every time if you look at them and think there's a chance they could go down. And that's not West Ham. West Ham years gone by used to be a breeding ground for English talent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
I think they've become a very, very stale.
It is a
stale-based club.
The worst thing that West Ham ever did was move into that new stadium. You watch West Ham at that new stadium and there's just no atmosphere because you've gone from Billing Ground, obviously, it were falling to bits, right? And it weren't the biggest capacity, but you've basically doubled your capacity without having your fan base.
Yeah.
And it's, do you know what I mean? If they can fill it every week and they could get 60,000 in every week, no problem. Atmosphere would be fucking rocking. Carlos Becker, the reason I put him on this list is because we keep dropping about AC Milan with all the money. Are they going to still, because Becker's doing all right, but is he not doing good enough for now? These new owners, they want to look higher.
I think they're going to want to spend money, mate. I think they're going to. I think it's a rebuilding process over a few years. I think they'll go through a few manager changes. If I was Mystic Meg, I would say the return of Carlo Ancelotti, and possibly next season because I can't see Ancelotti staying at Bayern long. Because I believe I'm going to try and do a prediction here. I believe the next Bayern manager will be that Tuchel.
Yeah,
that's left Dortmund.
Yeah.
I believe Ancelotti will go back to Milan because Ancelotti's the last great success of AC Milan.
Oh yes, yeah.
And they're going to want to bring success back, so they're going to want a guy to relay the foundations of which he laid to start with when AC Milan were a force.
Is it Donnarumma? Is that how I pronounce it? It's something like
Donnarumma.
That is a lot of D's and R's and U's in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
With Donnarumma, my only concern is again let him develop, right? Just let him develop. They could have a fucking bloody good keeper on their hands because he's only 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's not be talking about him going here, there, and everywhere. And I bet fucking agents.
The thing is, to me, he's already been tapped up.
That's what I mean. His agent is in his fucking head every day going, Real want you, Barca want you.
18 years of age. 18 years of age. One of the biggest club in Italy. Not Juventus, it's AC Milan. On credentials, it's the biggest club in Italy.
Oh yeah, if you're going on history,
second biggest club in European football. You know what I mean? Trophy domestically. 18 years old, man, and you've rejected a club, a new contract at a club. I know it's openly stated, I'm not re-signing. At 18, you haven't played football yet. You know what I mean? You haven't played
he's still
professional
learning.
football
Because he's
yet,
got an
and you
agent.
reject him.
He's got
Exactly.
an agent in his ear.
Well, you know who his agent is, don't you?
It's
Mino Raiola.
Yeah, I was going to say something. Yeah.
That gobshite.
Yeah, but he's got him in his fucking ear going, Madrid want you, Man U want you, Barca want you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're 17 years old, your head's going to be spinning.
Yeah.
Spinning.
David De Gea holds the key. That's my philosophy.
See, I think more Real Madrid. Because Real Madrid are umming and ahhing with their keepers. Obviously, they've got Keylor Navas.
Yeah.
And they've got, is it Kika Casillas, as they call him, or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But they've never replaced Casillas. Never.
Oh, God, no.
Right. So, for me, like, you look at Barca seem happy with Van Sturgeon. So, well, whatever you pronounce it. They're happy with him.
Yeah.
So, you can't see him going there. I think David De Gea, yeah, exactly like you said. If he goes to Madrid, then Dondere comes to Man U.
Mm-hmm.
But if he goes to, if De Gea decides to stay at Man U, then Dondere goes to Real Madrid.
Again, no, it's a club that doesn't need to sell him.
Oh no, that's what I mean. It's that's what I was saying earlier. Like with all this with AC
But
Milan,
they need to be intelligent at the fact that they know he's out of contract next year.
And if he doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to play. You fuck it, you bite the bullet, you sell it, and you move on. Exactly. So let's stick in Italy. So we reckon Bacca potentially may go because AC Milan may want to improve on him, and Donnarumma's going definitely. It just matters where. Staying in Italy then, one of my favourite current Italian players, and he has been for a long time, Leonardo Bonucci. They're on about possibly coming to Chelsea. I think he would be an absolute fucking fit. Him and David Luiz as your back two, and I have Kurt Zouma on standby as well. Perfect. Especially because they're using Chelsea are playing this back three. I think he's the Kale replacement. I see him as the Kale replacement. I think Conte
wants him, doesn't he? Conte's made it public knowledge.
Loves him.
Oh yeah, it's made it public knowledge that's the guy he wants. That's it. I think that's his key signing. You know what I mean? He looks at it. He's lost John Terry.
He's in his prime as well. He's in his prime, right? He's only 30 years old, right? And he feels like he's been around for for years. He feels like he's played for Italy for years. But he's only 30 years old. So when it comes to a centre half, that for me is your prime. You've got 3, possibly 4 good years left out of you. And I think he's the perfect replacement because Gary Cahill is. Granted, they won Premier League last season, but Gary Cahill, he always looked a little bit off pace. And obviously,
I believe him at Liverpool.
Time's ticking away with Gary Cahill now. But with Bonucci, if he doesn't go to Chelsea, do you see him staying at? Is Chelsea his only option? Do you think? So that's the only thing that.
No, God no.
Yeah, but again, Juventus don't need. I don't think they want to sell. That's what I mean.
But they've got Rugani now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Rugani's coming through. I've been watching the under-21s, man, and that kid is just fucking unreal. He had a good season out on loan last year at Empoli.
Do you think
Italy's my second league. I fucking watch Italy religiously.
Do you think it'd take a world record fee to get Bonucci from Juventus?
No.
So obviously, your world record fee still stands for a defender with Luiz, doesn't it, when he went to PSG from Chelsea? Do you think it would break 50 million?
I think you're silly if you do.
Because of his age?
Yeah. I think you got to be possibly. See, I think this is what the standoff is with Chelsea. I think Juve wants something big, but Chelsea won't pay it because of his age.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's gonna boil down to Bonucci. I don't think he'll beat Juventus in the summer because I think Conte, English champions, Champions League football, with Conte empires being built, I think he'll want to go. You know what I mean? He's done his job for Juventus.
Yeah.
You know, is there a lot more for him to do at Juve? No. You know, I think Chelsea's his only option, if I'm honest. Possibly.
Right, let's fly through some. I've got a list now of random weird ones that possibly may or possibly not. We're gonna fly through these ones. So I want yes or no, and if it's a yes, potential clubs he'll go to. Okay. Right, we're going. We first come back to England. Traore, Middlesbrough. Because when he gets it right, no one can fucking beat him. He's brilliant. But
he's one of the quickest players. He was linked with Liverpool a couple of years ago. I would say and this is a shout. Yes, I think he will move, and I believe he will stay in the northeast, and I think Newcastle will go for him.
Okay. Virgil van Dijk, Southampton.
Liverpool.
Oh, that's solid. That boom. Do you know he's brilliant? I think he's brilliant.
It's not dead. It's not dead. Liverpool would have ended their interest in the fee. That's I honestly I don't believe it's dead. He will go to Liverpool.
I like it. I'd have him at Liverpool. I think Liverpool or Man City. I can see him at. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Liverpool.
Has his time come? Time's come and gone at Arsenal. He's not.
I don't believe Arsenal have ever. I don't believe Arsenal have ever utilised him properly.
He's never progressed. He's not.
I don't believe
they've
ever utilised him properly. I don't believe Wenger believes too much in buying foreign-based players.
Yeah.
Wenger has failed miserably in the last 10 years at Arsenal in doing what made him a great manager when he joined Arsenal.
Yeah.
He buys youth players and then he wastes the talent.
Definitely. Ryan Bertrand, Southampton.
City.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kyle Walker, Tottenham.
City.
Yeah. That's why I loop them two together. Yeah. I'm so excited about that because I'm a big Kyle Walker fan. Obviously, being Sheffield United, Kyle Walker's one of our boys. He's come through our academy. Always got a lot of time for Kyle. Hopefully, one day. I just pray they don't bury him and waste him. My concern,
as City have basically done it.
That's my concern. That is my concern. But also, I think one element that does land on this deal is the potential of a certain ex-Barcelona and ex-Juventus right back possibly coming to Man City in Juan Alves. So if you sign Alves, is Alves back up for Walker?
Yeah, never.
Do you know what I mean? So what do you do? Never. So because that's being touted, obviously him and Pep rekindling their love affair again. So if he goes, he's now come out and said.
Do you know what though? I mean, I don't know if he's on your list. Damian.
Manu.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
He's been. It's public knowledge that AC Milan and Juventus have been in talks over the last 48 hours with United to sign him for 20 million. So you're talking a right back there. Yeah. Depending on what City do, there's two possible players there that could go to Man U or City. Kyle Walker.
That's a good shout.
I think Kyle Walker's days at Tottenham.
All right, next one. For me, a standout performer in a very shite team last season. Is it Gianelli Imbula at Stoke? Their record signing?
Imbula. Where did they sign him from? Was it
Marseille?
Marseille, right? Young kid. Great. See, I think he could be fantastic. I just think he's at the wrong club.
Yes, exactly my point. I think, for me, is it Mark Hughes still in charge of Stoke?
Mark Hughes.
Yeah. Mark Hughes, for me, he's one of them managers that I still question how he still gets employed.
No, I'm the same.
He's never done all... Like, even at Man City, he couldn't work that out. So he's never been... He's never excelled. Don't get me wrong, he did a cracking job at Fulham. Was it Fulham he was at, I think, before he got the Welsh job? Yeah, he did a cracking job there, but he's never really done anything since, and I never understand. But especially going from somebody like Tony Pulis, who is the pinnacle British management manager. Tony Pulis is brilliant. I think Tony Pulis is underutilised being at West Brom.
Yeah.
For me, Tony Pulis, I'm a big fan of your old-fashioned English managers, so your Allardyces, your Redknapps, and for me, Pulis is well and truly top of that tree. I think he's brilliant. He can take shite and turn it into gold.
Well, I think Pulis will be. It all depends in the next couple of years with with Chris Coleman, because I think Pulis will be the next Wales manager.
Yeah, that's a good shout. One that because I always think it's funny because they talk about him all the time, and I don't think he'll ever leave because he's at his dream club. Gareth Bale.
Maybe one day. maybe one day.
Not this summer.
I don't know. It's you're talking silly money again to bring a guy back, and he's only going to go to one of three clubs, I think.
Yeah, I think Man U's his chosen destination. He said that before. Or Tottenham. He'd probably go.
Maybe the red and black of AC Milan. I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe. Actually, I can see for Bale, I can see him staying in Madrid for years and then going to America.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I can
Another
see.
Beckham,
Exactly.
and he...
Exactly. Kieran Gibbs, Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal, the imminent arrival
Right.
of the new Bosnian. Is it Kolasinac or something like
Yeah,
that? They've signed.
yeah.
That pushes for me. That pushes Gibbs out the door. He's never.
I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go. And do you know what?
Liverpool.
I love the lad at Liverpool. Absolutely love him. So for me, he was touted as the perfect future England left back. Should have been if it wasn't for the tinkering and freaking faffing around the freaking Wenger did. All right, the kid picked up injuries. You know, the lad is absolutely menacing. If there was one guy to fill the shoes of Ashley Cole,
yeah,
it
was a carbon copy replacement.
It was ideal. You know, it just I'd love him. I'd love him at Liverpool. If it isn't Liverpool, I see possibly Everton.
I was going to say Everton.
Maybe Newcastle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see. He's definitely leaving Arsenal. I think he's definitely leaving Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because Arsenal have got that new lad, and they've got Monreal, and then they've got Gibbs, haven't they? Gibbs is like third choice now.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to leave. It's.
What about
I would like it. I would like him at Liverpool.
What about some kids? Tammy Abraham.
Oh, what a fucking player he is!
But is he?
I like him.
Obviously we've just been promoted to the Championship, mate. I would love to United to have the fucking bollocks to approach someone like Chelsea for a Tammy Abraham on loan. Do you know,
he's
someone
fucking
of that
brilliant.
level.
He's brilliant. I was blown away by him last year at Bristol.
He did absolutely with the one of the shittest teams in that division.
Yeah,
he did wonders with him. My concern,
he's technically good as well, though.
My concern, though, with Tammy is don't step up too much yet. So it's guaranteed. It looks like they're going to send him out on loan again. I think Chelsea would be foolish to sell him. Let's see how he adapts in the Premier League with a. See, this is where I struggle. I'm thinking maybe like with a Watford or a West.
See, the thing with me is I'm very, very critical of Chelsea because I think Chelsea over the years have made it so that people like me can criticise them. Take Romelu Lukaku, for instance.
Yeah.
I had him as a young kid, come from Anderlecht. I fucking wasted him. Sold him to Everton and then had the audacity to try and sign him back.
Well, it looks like this summer he's going to be one potentially. Obviously, we've not mentioned Lukaku, and he's one potentially could be going to Chelsea to replace Costa.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Lukaku, seriously, you've done exactly what you said, right? He started off on fire at Anderlecht. Chelsea signed him as an 18-year-old. Never really A, given the chance, and B, never had faith put into him as much because Chelsea, again, like we've said, they live in the year of we're in the era of instant success. There's no time. There's wasting money is wasting time. Working with these young players. So let's palm them out to somebody else. Right? And obviously he went on loan. Lukaku went to West Brom, and then went to Everton, and then Everton obviously signed him for touching 30 million. Now, for me, he's just excelled since he's been at Everton, but Everton's not the club that Lukaku of a player like that should be at. That's a guarantee. No. I think Everton's realised that now. Do you know what I mean? They got an additional year out of him this year, which I don't think they were. I'd say if he's probably spoke to 99% of Everton's backroom team, they didn't think he'd still be there last summer.
No.
They managed to get another year out of him, and that adds value because he's banged him in. He's finished their top scorer yet again. He's added another 10 million on his price tag. Now you tout him, but I don't understand the logic of going back to a club that treated you like so much shit the first time around.
No, that's my issue with it. To be honest,
it's always been my issue with Pogba. Like Pogba was shat on at Man U when he was a kid, and absolutely shat on. But he saw the lights of the money, and his agents. Look, it's Man U. Think about what he can do for brand Pogba.
Yeah.
But Lukaku, I think he's definitely leaving Everton. That's 1,000% leaving Everton. But where does he go? It's looking Chelsea. Do I think Chelsea? No.
Bayern. I always thought he did.
I'd like to see him at Italy. I'd like to see him for Juventus. Him and Dybala up front.
Oh, okay, no. What a partnership.
That's what I think. He's that sort of player. But
I just think Lukaku needs to go to somewhere where he doesn't have to run.
oh fucking hell, yeah.
Because he
Jesus
don't
Christ,
run.
yeah.
Because he don't fucking run.
No.
You know, he's good with his feet and he's a good finisher.
Run through a
but
few others then. Gylfi Sigurdsson, Swansea.
Liverpool's worst mistake, never signing him. I've heard a few teams touted around him, to be honest with you. I think he'd do well at Arsenal.
I think he'd do well at a club that gives, again, he's one of them though that he made the big money move and he went to
Tottenham.
You
forget how young he is.
I know he's only like 25, 26.
Do you know what I mean? I think you forget how long he's been around and just how young he is. I've heard Spurs freaking around, you know, sniffing around him again.
So I think he'd make a mistake going back to Spurs. I know it's a different era now. We're living a different life, but I don't know. He's the same as Lukaku. I don't know why you go to a club that treat you so much shit. They spent, is it 8 million they bought him from Swansea for?
Yeah.
And it got next to no game time. Do you know what I mean? It's all well and good looking good in that team photo, stood next to superstars, but you're not actually doing what you love. So I don't believe there's any footballer on planet that doesn't love playing football.
You know, I've mentioned Newcastle a hell of a lot of times.
That'd be a perfect place for him.
I've mentioned him a hell of a lot of times in this. Like I said in episode 3, the first episode, Newcastle are my kind of. Well, that's next week, isn't it? Episode 1, Newcastle are my like second. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got like a little soft spot for Newcastle. I really do think that he'd be good. He'd be good for Newcastle.
Right. Next one. One that's always touted about, and I've brought this up purely because I know there's gonna be a little flame that's gonna start in your belly. Marco Reus. Every fucking year, Liverpool's touted they're going to sign him.
I'm not interested in him, to be honest with you. I'm not. Do you know what? I get sick of hearing his fucking name. It's these half-wit freaking Liverpool fans. Yes, I'm calling you all fucking half-wits. You fantasy football freaking FIFA playing bastards that think Marco Reus is the only gifted freaking player in the world who is just, he's world class. It isn't that term, world class. World class he is. Marco Reus, he's world class. Did you see how he played last week? Newsflash, boys. This week alone, I've mentioned a few freaking names, and all I've heard is injury prone. Oh, he's injury prone, he is. Oh, we shouldn't be looking at him. Is Marco Reus injury prone? Because for the last 3 years, do you know he's only made 51 competitive appearances for Borussia Dortmund? Is that injury prone? Because I think it is. Do I think Marco Reus is overrated? Yes, I believe the kid that was bought by Jurgen Klopp for 5 million is overrated from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Do I want Marco Reus to come to Liverpool? Fuck no.
All right,
there's a mini rant.
Will he leave Dortmund? Is this the summer that Reus
leaves?
Leaves?
No, he's out. He's out until January, February.
Okay, moving on. The lesser spotted Wilfred Boney can't get a game for shit for money at Stoke.
Go to China.
Should have never signed for Man City. Should have never gone to Man City. Sought money.
Ruined his own career. Greed ruined his career.
It took him a while. It took him like a season to get into it at Swansea. But once he got his feet on the ground, that's it. He was banging him in for fun. Sought money, sought likes.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Stoke, I thought maybe give him the spark again that he bought. Couldn't get a game for love nor money at Stoke. That's
the thing is, he's a player that commands a hell of a lot of money and wages, and he hasn't done a hell of a lot more for this. So I'm not being funny. I don't see him staying in the Premier League. There's nothing attractive about the possibility of signing Wilfred Boney and paying him a shit ton of money.
Yeah, totally agree.
If you ain't gonna score goals at Stoke are not. They're anything but, you know what I mean, a fantastic team, but they have creative players. Arnautovic, Shaqiri, you know.
Charlie
so
Adam.
Don't tell me that he's not had his supply. The fact is, he's not been good enough to get in the Stoke team for a reason, because he's not good enough.
Yeah.
Money went to his head and he ruined his own career. It happens to players. Do I see him playing in the Premier League next season? No. Do I see him going somewhere else? Yeah. Do I know where? No. But I see plenty of pounds or dollars or yen flashing in Bonnie's face.
Definitely. Manuel Lanzini, West Ham. Loves scoring against Spurs.
I like him. I think he'll still be at West Ham.
I think he'll go to Spurs.
Do you?
I think Pochettino, Argentinian, could sway it.
I think someone's got to leave for him to go there.
Well, Everton apparently also sniffing around. Could you see
he's got to leave.
Is Lanzini? Again, he's another one with West Ham. They weren't great last season, but he was one of their standouts. Is Everton on par with West Ham? Are you not progressing as a player going from West Ham to Everton, or a player of
I don't think so.
Mid-table caliber?
I think West Ham. I think Everton have got a long way to go.
Okay.
Remember, they're going to lose Lukaku.
Yeah.
So if you're a player going into Everton, you want guarantees that they're going to sign a goal scorer.
Oh yeah, that's it. And
you know,
the thing you want to look at,
they lost Lukaku. They got him 30+ goals last season in all competition.
They only managed to buy Lukaku is because they had him on loan.
Yeah.
So he'd established a relationship with the club, so it made him easier to say, well, come look, we're starting you every game. Come for us full time. Everton are going to struggle. I don't see Everton as a team that can attract the biggest names in football. A, they've not got the financial capability, and B, it's Everton. Everton, out of your top 4, Everton are probably the best club in the league. And I've always said that. I've always had time for Everton. But that is it. They're out of the top 4. Well, it's not. It's just top 6 these days. They're out of that Arsenal's, Man City's, Man U's, Liverpool's, Chelsea's. Everton aren't in that group of teams anymore because they can't attract that sort of player. And selling, it's all well and good selling Lukaku for 60, 70 million, but is anybody that's worth 50, 60 million gonna want to sign for Everton?
I don't think they've got the pulling power to sign and replace Lukaku.
Yeah, well, they can replace him, but it's going to be
it's a test.
A middle at road striker. It's going to be a 20, 30 million pound striker. It's not going to be a 60, 70 million pound striker, because if a player's moving for that type of money, Daniel Sturridge, that's a good shout.
Danny Sturridge. Yeah. They can have Danny Sturridge for 45 million.
Fucking hell. If he's worth 45 million, I'm at least worth about 40 grand.
I'll pay 40 grand for you.
Right, so I think we'll wrap it up right about there. I think we've gone through a few of the obvious transfers and a few of the weird and wonderful ones. But guys, again, thank you for listening, for those that are, and tell your friends. Like, share and subscribe. We love you all very, very so much who's joined us so far. Don't forget you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. It's a NAF podcast. That's not another football podcast. But from Dave and Butcher, I bid you adieu until next time. Cheers, guys.